Platinum Chevrolet Cadillac, Terrell, Texas. Platinum Chevrolet Cadillac, Terrell, Texas. Title sponsor for Friendly Live on Friendly News. Platinum Chevrolet Cadillac. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
And we are live from the stage of the Texan Theater in downtown Greenville, Texas. It is Friendly Live. Yeah, Friendly Live brought to you each and every Wednesday by Platinum Chevrolet Cadillac in downtown Terrell, Texas, and Henley Auto Supply right here in Greenville, Texas. And folks, again, I told you before, it's a special day for me because it was one of those times that Gabe and I both agree. I think it was one of the best Friendly Live shows that we had because it was the first one. Would you put your hands together for our friend, our neighbor, Mr. Brad Davis? Woo! Brad, there is so much that I want to talk about, and I can't, folks. I can't talk about everything that we've talked about him and his experience that he's had over the years, and it just recently something happened, and he's going to share that with you, I'm sure. But the most important thing is, before we go any further, can we do this? You see this lady right here? She's coming. Back to you, my dear. Folks, Barbara Horan, the owner of the Texan Theater, and the new co-host of CTFM. Barbara, thank you so much. We're going to have a great show. With that said, would you put your hands together for some music from a man that the box cutters say does some flat picking the best? Brad Davis.
How do you do? My name is Sue. It's great to be here today. Mike, could you bump that guitar up just a snag? Thank you, sir. Gonna do a new tune for you that's with my new trio. There's the Shredder and the Shredheads, and it's called Iron Giant. It's just that simple. And now for something you'll really like. I'll tell you what, it's been playing bluegrass for a long time. Of course, I got a new band right now called Brad Davis, the Shredder and the Shredheads. And it's Tricia Yearwood's bass player, Craig Langford, and he just moved to Commerce, of all places. Is that crazy? And then the drummer is Steve Ritter, great drummer from Dallas-Fort Worth. And we played the Texas Music Revolution Festival in McKinney a couple weeks ago. And I told Friendlee this. I've been in the business a long time, and I'm full-time right now as we speak. I own a studio in downtown Commerce where we have 3 studios. We're Sony Red Rated. We do film scores for Billy Bob Thornton, Robert Duvall, Kevin Bacon, blah, 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 all these different people. We record a lot of records from LA and Nashville. We relocated in this area because I had a sick father-in-law that was in Oklahoma, right over the Paris line, and it seemed like a good place to light. I grew up in Fort Worth, and Texas has always been home, and we've got a massively monstrous airport here that's fantastic. I can be in Yokohama in 8 hours and have lunch and come back. And you can't do that out of Nashville. They would like you to believe you can, but you can't. We have a great airport, and so it's good to be able to get in and out, and Texas has everything we need. Also, we have a Texas Star, and Tennessee doesn't have that. But I do like Tennessee. I've been in Tennessee for many years, 23 years, but it's so good to be back in Texas, and good to be doing this thing with the Shredders, the Shredheads. And so it's an electric band and an acoustic band. If you like Billy Strings, Tommy Emmanuel, Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, and John McLaughlin, that's the kind of music we do. And so it's really, really great to be here today playing acoustic. Most of our shows have been a little bit more electric, and we do some country, and we do some cash and all kinds of different things. But today I'm going to do 3 songs that are original, and hopefully you'll like them. And some of these you may have heard. This one particular tune was on the Billboard charts for 14 weeks. It was a bluegrass cut by a bluegrass artist that most of y'all probably wouldn't know. And it's called Every Shade of Who I Am. And really, I wrote the tune with a lady named Donnie Alissi. She's had a lot of hits and a lot of awards in the bluegrass market. And she's a great writer, and what a treat it is to write with folks like that. And I wrote this tune in mind with the fact that my wife has trained me over years, and I'm finally getting almost trained. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. So she says. And but this is about all the shades of me that she knows really well. She's like, I'm almost got you trained. I'm almost got you trained. The kids are out of the house. We're empty nesters. You're close. You're close. You're this close. So. But it's a tune called Every Shade of Who I Am. I hope you like it. Crimson tide pulls me away to a bitter place with no escape. Endless storm will knock me down. It leaves me on the cold, hard ground. Then gold and pink fill up the sky. It has me thinking I'll survive another day. Every shade of who I am is running across my heart. And I hold the painter's hand as she rends my world apart. The color of my tears stain the place where she stands. as she paints me right into every shade of who I am. Cold black thoughts won't let me sleep, with depths so deep that oceans weep. The bluest blue is so unkind, it leaves me with a troubled mind. The gold and pink fill up the sky. It has me thinking I'll survive another day. Every shade of who I am is running across my heart. And I hold the painter's hand as she rends my world apart. The color of my tears stain the place where she stands, as she paints me right into every shade of who I am. Every shade of who I am.
Yeah.
Woo! Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Well, everybody likes a good murder ballad, right? Bluegrass is full of them. If you remember years ago when the actor that plays banjo all the time, I'm trying to remember his name, Steve Martin, he would get on there and he would say, murder and babies and killing and hanging. And, you know, it was always about bluegrass and some kind of silly kind of thing. And we'd smile the whole time he did it. And he had all of his teeth, which was remarkable. I know when I went to Kentucky, I worked with Sam Bush. Sam Bush is a bluegrass artist, and he said, "Now you don't be shocked when you get to Kentucky, Buford." He always called me Buford. He said, because everybody will have that one tooth in the center. And I go, "Oh, come on, you know." He was from Kentucky. He could say that. But this next tune is called Anna Lee, and it's a new tune that's been on the Billboard Bluegrass charts, because I love bluegrass, but I love so many different kinds of music. That's the reason why it's been so tough to nail down what I want to do, because I just love all of it. And this is called Anna Lee, and it's a good old-fashioned murder ballad, and hope you like it. When Benjamin hurt Anna Lee, her trust in him was gone. She walked away into the night, returning home at dawn. When he asked her where she'd been, she said with someone new. And she asked him how it felt to feel his heart breaking in two. Anna Lee, Anna Lee, what she told him was a lie. She just wanted him to feel the pain, all the pain she felt inside. She'd been at her sister's, there was nobody new. Anna Lee, Anna Lee, she'd never be untrue. Then she saw anger in his eyes she'd never seen before. And Benjamin spoke not a word as she fell to the floor. Now Benjamin is wearing stripes behind those prison bars. And knowing he killed Anna Lee, who felt so pure as heart. Anna Lee, what he told him was a lie. She just wanted him to feel the pain, all the pain she felt inside. She'd been at her sister's, there was nobody knew. Anna Lee, she'd never be untrue. Anna Lee, what she told him was a lie. She just wanted him to feel the pain, all the pain she felt inside. She'd been at her sister's, there was nobody knew. Anna Lee, can't you hear him weeping for you? Anna Lee, she'd never be untrue.
Yeah. Woo! Wow. I knew the picking was coming. I knew it was coming because not only is he a singer, songwriter, producer, you name it, but he has a talent that a lot of pickers don't have, and it's called that flat picking. It's flat picking. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But right now you know what we got to do. We got to go to commercial break. Because commercial breaks lets you be here, all of us here, and have a good time. So we're going to commercial break. And remember, please, all of you, shop local. Come back here to Texan Theater in downtown Greenville, Texas for Friendly Live. And our guest, Brad Davis.
Every truck and SUV is on sale at Platinum Chevrolet.
New 2021 Silverados start at only $37,999, or choose from new 2021 Trailblazers and buy for under $20,000.
Don't miss Truck Month at Platinum Chevrolet.
The recipe for great food is simple. Make it fresh. Wings to Go in Greenville, where every order is a custom order made with fresh ingredients. Wings to Go, 7818 Wesley Street in Greenville. Simply great wings.
Need a part for the right price? Look for that red and blue sign. Henley Auto Supply at 1510 Stonewall. Over 800,000 CarQuest parts to choose from. Domestic, European, and Asian parts. Henley Auto Supply at 903-455-1969. 455-1969. Henley Auto Supply has the right part to keep your vehicle running, and backed by the best hometown service. Henley Auto Supply. Great people, great products, great prices. Henley Auto Supply and CarQuest.
Oh, can we count down? We can count down though, right? You ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are live from the stage of the Texan Theater in downtown Greenville, Texas. It is Friendly Live, brought to you each and every Wednesday by Platinum Chevrolet Cadillac in downtown Terrell, Texas, and our own Henley Auto Supply right here in Greenville, Texas. Thank y'all so much for being here, and thank that streaming audience out there, because they mean a lot to you and I and all of us. But you know what? Somebody up in that soundboard up there does something for you and me.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking Mike Rowan. Thank you, Mike, for that great sound. Thank you so much.
Mike Rowan, we love you, buddy.
Yes, and you know what? The staff of this theater, could you give them a big hand? Yeah, and back here, we have I call him the stage manager, Sweet William. Bill Salmon right over here. Putting it all together, yeah. And today, our featured producer, because he's been a co-producer, you might say. Ian, thank you for picking it up, because everybody is sick on this side. Gabe is sick. There's a lot of people sick. And this young man picked it up, and bam, you got a show today. So right now, would you just put your hands together for the man of the hour, Brad Davis.
Well, I'll tell you, June. I got to tell you guys a story. I was in the studio with Marty Stewart, okay? We were in Cowboy Jack's studio in Nashville. And Cowboy Jack wrote a lot of songs. He produced Charlie Pride. He's the one that made Charlie Pride, Charlie Pride. And Cowboy Jack lived in this house where the studio was. Friendly, I thought they just have to hear this. It's such a funny story. And so I hung out a lot with Johnny Cash. That's why I did that up front. He came on the road. Marty Stewart, who I worked with for 11 years, was married to Johnny Cash's daughter, Cindy Cash, which you guys probably don't know, but she was a hairdresser, not in the music business. And so he was married to her, and so that's how that relationship kind of came to be. And Johnny Cash would hang out on the road with us for weeks at a time. And it was just the most incredible experience for me. We were in the studio at Cowboy Jack's that day. We pulled the bus up, and Johnny was basically had been to Betty Ford and was doing better. We'll say that. It was doing much better. And so June and him were in the studio, and Marty and the band, and so we stopped for a minute, and Johnny was on the couch, and he said, "June, woman." Well, I'll tell you, June, I need some pills. She said, "Johnny, you know we've been off pills for a month. You just got out of Betty Ford." And he said, "Don't lie to me, woman. That purse sounds like a maraca." That's a true story. If I'd had that on my phone, it'd be worth $1 million. But Johnny Cash was a super guy, had a good testimony of faith, and just awesome. And a lot of the songs that I write over the years were inspired by guys like that. And I'll pick one out here. Friendly had asked me to do a couple, and I'll pick this one out. It's called "Ain't That Just Like Love?" And if that don't show where I'm from, I'm not sure what does. I wrote this song with Tommy Polk, and Tommy Polk is a guy you probably don't know who he is or his background, but he wrote the first hit for David Ball. I admit I've got a thinking problem. It was a big hit. Tommy made a lot of money, bought a couple of studios in Nashville, and moved back to Philadelphia, Mississippi, where he's bought a cotton gin and turned it into the Shack Up Inn. And you can go out there and you can rent a round gin, and it's an apartment. And there's about 14 of them on the property. And great songwriter. I wrote this with him, and I hope you like it. Great sky show every morning, hung around all the livelong day. Blue moon rose every evening since my sweet baby walked away. I was lost in a heartache prison with no way to escape. Just one rhyme, just one reason to feel this way. Ain't that just like love? Ain't that just like love? To break a heart. Listen, I hear the tables turning. Bet I just drew a lucky card. Hands stacked and leaning in my favor. I feel just like the King of Hearts. Every day feels just like heaven. since I felt your embrace. Just one rhyme, just one reason to feel this way. Ain't that just like a love? Ain't that just like a love? To break a heart. You came, you saw, you conquered, you won my very soul. Just then I discovered all I need to know. Ain't that just like a love? Ain't that just like a love? Yeah, it is. Ain't that just like, ain't that just like, ain't that just like a love to break a heart? Very much. Appreciate it.
Birds, stand up. Oh, you know, folks, I tell you, it's what an honor it is to be here today with a man on stage that has done a lot for music. He has done a lot in his life to help other people. And today he's here playing his favorite guitar, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on. But you know what, folks? There's folks from all over the world come here to Friendly Live, and we want to say thank you for coming. But he didn't come from all over the world, but he lives on a mountain in New Mexico. And I'm going to introduce him to you. He's my brother, and he is the voice of FriendlyRadio.com. One Mr. Craig Burt.
FriendlyRadio.com.
They are in town, and his lovely wife, Sally, over here. And they're in town as our house guests for until they leave. You know, we don't never have a date set.
Did I miss the applause for me? I mean,
would you have the applause for Sally also?
thank you.
And you know my lovely wife, Teresa. But folks, thank y'all for coming. And friends Sheila and David and Lynn, thank y'all. But right. Anyway, we got to go to commercial break, because if we don't, we won't be able to do this. So y'all stay with us right here at the Texan Theater in downtown Greenville, Texas. It is Friendly Live. Y'all come back.
Magic Bubble, your locally owned party store, 2314 Lee Street, downtown historic Greenville, Texas. Planning a party? Magic Bubble. Celebrating an event? Magic Bubble. Gift ideas to costumes? Magic Bubble. Come get your fun supplies at Magic Bubble, which is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9 to 2. And that's Magic Bubble, helping you make it fun.
Hi, I'm Kathy with Long Branch Dental Center.
Lumineers are porcelain glass shells that fit over the top of your teeth and give them a dynamite look. You can change the shape, the size, and the color. So call today to ask about Lumineers. Long Branch Dental Center, making North Texas more beautiful, one smile at a time.
We are live from the stage of the Texan Theater in downtown Greenville, Texas. It is Friendly Live, brought to you each and every Wednesday by Platinum Chevrolet Cadillac in downtown Terrell, Texas, and Henley Auto Supply right here in Greenville, Texas. I want to say a big thank you to all of you here for this live audience. I'm telling you, I brag on them all the time because you could be a part of this if you're streaming audience. We love you.
We love you.
Yeah,
we do love you.
Oh
streaming.
yeah, we love you. Oh yeah.
But we really like you in the seats.
And yeah, we really like you in the seats. And one thing I got to tell you, there's someone sitting in the audience that you know, I know. I call him, and he is the music ambassador for downtown Greenville, Texas. One Mr. Papa Cass, Mike Castleberry.
Cass!
Cass!
I didn't recognize you, Cass. What am I doing up here playing guitar? Good night.
All right, keep that claps going for Brad Davis.
Good Lord of mercy, Cass. I ain't seen you in a while. You're looking good. You're looking good. Looking good, looking good. I stole many a blues lick off that man. I got a chance to work with a guy named Earl Scruggs for about 6 years, and before Earl passed away, and we always did this song on the road. It was one he really loved, and before I get into it, I got to tell you the story about Earl real quick, because I've got a couple of emails. Some folks of y'all out there had emailed me, and I can't remember who they were, that said, would you tell that story about Earl? And so I will. I'll tell that story. I was working with Earl Scruggs, and Louise Scruggs, his wife, knew that I knew how to run a studio and how to work Pro Tools, which is the software we use to record records with, and they've been doing it for years. And she said, Brad, could you take Earl's record, his recording of his book, and could you put it on digital for me? And that's kind of how she talked. She had this really cool voice, kind of like the Fun Girls on Mayberry. And so I love voices, but she had a great voice, and she'd clear her throat at the end of every sentence. It was just great. And Earl had one book, one banjo book in his career, and Columbia lost the tapes. They lost them, and she was upset. She was Earl's manager. Brad, they lost the tapes at Columbia, and I'm upset. Would you take this record and make it digital off the cassette, and I'd pay you for it? And every time she talked, she'd do that. It was just hilarious. And I said, I'd be honored. I mean, my gosh, to do that for Earl Scruggs' one banjo book. So it took us about 3 months. She really looked after his basically his personality and his how he looked to the public, his outer appearance. And in that book, at times, he would say, finger. And then times in that book, he would say, finger, because he was from North Carolina. So Louise hired a stenographer to go through every bit of it and find the fingers and the fingers. And she replaced the fingers with the fingers, so that Earl would appear to be not such a hillbilly. She was looking out for him. You know, she's the one who got him the Walk of Fame and the come and listen to a story about a man named Jed. You know, she got him all of that, you know. Well, at the time all this happened, they were renting a house down in Hendersonville, and they just bought the next day, they bought Possum and Tammy's house, George Jones's house. And it had the big gates, just like the TV show. I mean, it looked just like it. And so I was supposed to have Louise's copy of this ready, and I told her it was ready, and she said, well, what can I pay you for it? And I said, Louise, I don't want any payment for it. I'd like Earl to play on my record, my solo record. Well, we can make that happen. After every line, it was like that. I'm telling you, I waited to hear every piece of it. I really did, because I just adored her. She was so sweet. And so that day I went down to the coffee shop down from their house, and I called Earl. Louise picked up, "Oh my God, Earl, somebody's trying to kill Earl." She was smoking like a freight train. Hadn't smoked in years. And she said, "A cult is trying to kill Earl Scruggs, oh my gosh." You know. And I said, "A cult is trying to kill Earl Scruggs." A banjo cult, she called it. I said, "Well, tell me what happened." "Somebody put deer guts in the mailbox." I said, "Deer guts in the mailbox? What are you talking about?" She said, "I don't know, but they stuffed deer guts in the mailbox. They're trying to kill Earl. Some banjo cult." I said, "Louise, you got to be kidding me. Where's Earl?" "He's hosing out the mailbox." I thought, if they're trying to kill him, you should keep him inside, shouldn't you? Because them banjo cults, they're nasty. They're nasty people. So anyway, so I drive down there, and there he is. He's got his pants all the way up here, belt, them glasses on. He's got that hose, and that hose is hitting that mailbox. I thought, if I'd had this on camera, it'd be worth $1 million. I pulled up and said, "Hey, Earl, what's going on?" "Oh, I'm just washing out the mailbox of deer guts." He was totally unaffected by the cult. So I said, "Okay, well, can I give you a drive back up to the house?" Because it was a long driveway up there. He hopped in, we went up there, and Louise said, "You got to put those deer guts in a garbage bag." And so Earl had his banjo, and she's telling him to put the deer guts in the garbage bag. And I said, "You know what? I'll take care of it. Where's the garbage bag at? Earl, you go tune your banjo up." So anyway, that was a funny day. Just the experience with the Scruggs family, and I wrote a tune called "Deer Guts in the Mailbox Again." Deer guts in the mailbox again. Well, the banjo cult is threatening Earl. Louise is smoking like a big old girl. Really, I didn't write a song about it. That's what happened. And it was just a hoot of a story, and I thought y'all might enjoy that. I got a couple of emails, and folks said, would you tell that story? We love hearing it. And you know what's neat is just to work with some of these people. It's just been a joy for me, and I've learned so much from different folks on how to act and how to be a professional. And this tune right here he loved. It's called Black Mountain Rag, and it's a new tune that we're doing with the Shredheads. Earl loved this tune, and so I'll give it a run for you. Doc Watson made it famous years ago. All you have to do is add a couple cups of coffee and a shot of espresso, and you can play fast just like this. Appreciate that. That's that Barbara's coffee. You see, I had a cup of her coffee, and you know, these are my, as a gun, they call you gunslingers in the music business. And so normally your hands are pretty solid, but this is my trigger hand, see? And it's hard to hold it steady, but with coffee, it makes it move a little quicker. And someone asked me on email the other day, I heard you're going to go do Friendly's show. And I said, yeah, I love doing that show. He's like a brother from another mother. And I feel like he's a family. And they said, you do a tune called Before You Accuse Me. It's a tune that Eric Clapton did a lot, and Robert Johnson. And I said, I love that old tune. And yeah, I'll be happy to do it. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. I spend my money on other women, you taking money for someone else. Call your mama about 3-4 nights ago. Call your mama about 3-4 nights ago. Mama said, son, don't call my daughter no more. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Spend my money on other women, you taking money for someone else. I like it when it's sneaky like this. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Spend my money on other women, you taking money for someone else.
Yeah, woo! Yeah. Okay, all right. We got a roll going. We want to hear more music, right? We'll do, come on, yeah, more music. Brad Davis.
Has Friendly abandoned me? This next tune was a number one on the bluegrass charts. I'm just so glad anybody likes anything I write. You know, it's a treat. Being in the music business for so long, someone will say something, you'll go, really? That's going to happen, huh? Cass knows what I'm talking about. This one's called Derailed, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver, they're a band that's been around for a long, long time in the bluegrass market. won a lot of awards, and they liked this song and wanted to cut it, and I was just tickled pink. And I'm going to get to it, run through it here, and hope you like it. Said goodbye at Union Station, then we went our separate ways. Then I thought I could forget you and find better dreams to chase. While I'm only thinking about tomorrow, always looking straight ahead. If my mind could keep on racing, there'd be no more tears to shed. My train of thought runs a track every time you cross my mind. Like a nun, I'm looking back at the one I left behind. 10,000 miles down the line, her memory's still out on my trail. Every time I think of you, I get derailed. Every time I get to thinking I miss you a little less, I pull out one more station on that misery express. We're at the end of every tunnel and over every bridge I cross. Dreams of you still lying waiting to remind me of what I've lost. My train of thought jumps a track every time you cross my mind. Like a knot, I'm looking back at the one I left behind. 10,000 miles down the line, her memory's still out on my trail. Every time I think of you, I get derailed. My train of thought jumps a track every time you cross my mind. Like in a night, I'm looking back at the one I left behind. 10,000 miles down the line, her memory's still out on my trail. Every time I think of you, I get derailed. Woo! Every time I think of you, I get derailed. Where am I from? Don't try this at home, it's dangerous.
See, folks, I told you, you were in for a great treat today because this man can make them strings talk. We got to go to commercial break. When we come back, when we come back, you know what? So, producer Ian, when we come back, okay, here's what I want. I want the audience to be entertained, okay? So what we're going to do, when we come back, he's going to do what we call play through. Play through, and you know, Jared is coming next week. We'll talk about him, but right now, we're going to commercial break right here at Friendly Live in downtown Greenville, Texas. Y'all come back to the Texan Theater.
company coming? Make sure they stay with us. At Best Western Plus, we'll treat them right. Like hot complimentary breakfast, spacious rooms, a glorious pool, fitness and business center, and best of all, a friendly staff. Our large, flexible meeting rooms are great for business and social get-togethers. Best Western Plus, just off at Interstate 30 near Cracker Barrel. Staying with us is always a plus. Best Western Plus in Greenville.
Oh, yeah, we are live from the stage of the Texan Theater, and I'll tell you what, Brad Davis says it all, because the Platinum Chevrolet and Henley Auto Supply, they helped you today have this man here and all of the other sponsors. Thank y'all so much. That streaming audience out there, thank you, thank you, thank you, and you here in this live audience. Tell all your friends about it, because it's free every Wednesday, and today at 5 o'clock. It's Hump Day Happy Hour. The second Wednesday of every month is Hump Day Happy Hour. Today, you got a treat. There's a treat. There's 3 short films by individual directors, producers right here, Michael Lester and Holly Rice. Yeah, I do believe. Awesome. And it's free right here at the Texan Theater at 5 o'clock. It's Hump Day Happy Hour. But right now, it is Friendly Live, and our guest today is Brad Davis. So would you put your hands together for the Shredder?
Appreciate it so much.
The Shredder.
Now, cap that story off that Friendly was talking about really quickly. We were playing at the McKinney Festival, and I was playing with Trisha Yearwood's bass player and Mike Ritter on drums. And my wife said, I don't think I've ever seen you play like that before. And the 32 years we've been married, I said, what was that all about? I said, well, I play like that. I just play at the studio and in the closet there, because most time I'm on the stage making other folks sound good, and that's what I like doing. She said, well, you need to keep doing this. This is pretty neat. So anyway, the video went out. The mashup is live. If you guys get on and look for Brad Davis mashup and the Shredheads, you'll see the live video of us on stage. And Fender and Gretsch and all Alvarez saw it, and they were excited about it. So we're going to continue to work on that. We do a little bit of bluegrass and a little bit of rock grass and a little bit of blues grass. And this next tune is another murder ballad. We have to end the show with murder. We just have to, because that's just what bluegrass is all about. And it's called Big Timber. I wrote this with a guy named Tom Schultz, and he wrote Private Malone. I don't know if you've ever heard that song, Private Malone. It was a #1 single for a while and did really good for him. And we wrote this song. He called me up one day in Nashville, and he said, would you like to write a murder ballad? And I said, I sure would. And he said, well, I got this idea called Big Timber. And so this is how she goes. Just add coffee. My wife says I have Tourette's, but I'm not sure I do. Big Timber was a lumberjack. Came to town to swing his mighty axe. Heard tell that he killed someone, and he did it just for fun. Sheriff left and he took on the deputy. Timber tore up the taverns here in town, 'cause old Joe wouldn't serve him another round. Saw him beat Billy Donovan. Doc says I'll never walk again. If I weren't so small, tell you what I'd do. I'd cut Big Timber down, laid him out on the cold hard ground. It was time he was knocked down a notch or two. I'd cut Big Timber down, terrorizing my hometown. I bet Big Timber, he won't be at the Texan any longer. I saw him heading for the bluff, towards the house of the only girl I love. Knocked her door right off the frame. He turned and laughed when I called his name. I pulled the hammer back on my 44. I cut Big Timber down, laid him out on the cold hard ground. It was time he was knocked down a notch or two. I cut Big Timber down for terrorizing my hometown. I bet Big Timber, he won't be on Friendly radio very long. This is called the drop. They have these in like rap songs, you know. We drop real low. It's real sneaky. We buried him by the pale moonlight in the moon lover garden late that night. Folks wondered why he disappeared. It's the best crops he's had in years. Till this day we're the only ones who know. I cut Big Timber down, laid him out on the cold hard ground. It was time he was knocked down a notch or two. I cut Big Timber down for terrorizing my hometown. I bet Big Timber won't be hanging around. Yeah, I bet Big Timber won't be hanging around no more. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for having me, Friendly. I appreciate you guys so much.